She had 2 university degrees, a government career, and a plan for her life. Then, one morning, a new administration walked in and walked her out. No severance, no warning, no plan B.
We're taught to believe that education is the ultimate protection. That if you study hard enough, work hard enough, climb high enough, you'll be safe. Iris believed that too, and she was wrong. Not because education failed her, but because life doesn't care how prepared you are when it decides to test you. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand something that no university teaches. That financial security isn't built on a single income, a single job, or a single plan. It's built on layers. And Iris, through 2 devastating losses and 1 global pandemic, figured out how to build those layers from scratch. Stay with me.
Iris studied like her future depended on it, because it did. She earned not 1, but 2 university degrees, 1 in business administration, 1 in international business. She entered government work in taxation and climbed steadily, methodically, year after year, until she became head of her department. Along the way, she married, had a son, built what looked from the outside like a complete life. Then, when her son was 9 years old, her husband came home one day, or rather, didn't come home, to tell her he had been seeing another woman. He didn't want a divorce. He wanted to stay. On his terms. Iris told him to leave. She kept the house. She kept her son. She kept her career. And she kept going. With a pension from her ex-husband that barely covered a fraction of what it actually cost to run a household alone. She worked harder, climbed higher, made deputy manager of her department. And then, the second blow came. A new government, a new administration, a new list of people who were no longer needed. Her name was on that list. No severance, no explanation, no goodbye. Just gone. And it happened in 2020, in the middle of a global pandemic, when finding a new job wasn't just hard, it was nearly impossible. Most people facing what Iris faced would have fought back legally. She chose not to. And the reason why is one of the most quietly intelligent financial decisions in this entire story. That's coming up right now. Everyone told her to sue. She had grounds. She had a case. She said no. Not because she was afraid, because she was thinking 3 steps ahead. In her field, government and public administration, a legal dispute with a former employer leaves a mark. Not an official one, but the kind that travels quietly through the networks and corridors that decide who gets hired and who doesn't. She calculated that winning the lawsuit might get her a settlement, but losing the reputation in her field would cost her far more for far longer. So she let it go, strategically, deliberately, and she started looking for work. At the same time, her father's knee gave out, completely. He needed surgery, but every hospital was closed to elective procedures. The pandemic had shut everything down. So she found a private doctor, coordinated with her brother to split the cost, and then took on his entire rehabilitation herself, while looking for work, while caring for her son, while managing a household on savings that were running out faster than she could replenish them. She didn't collapse. She made a list, she prioritized, and she kept moving. What Iris understood instinctively is something financial advisors call opportunity cost. Every decision has a visible cost and an invisible one. The visible cost of not suing was the severance she never received. The invisible cost of suing was the career capital she might have lost, the relationships, the reputation, the doors that stay open when you don't burn them. For single parents especially, this calculus matters enormously because you're not just managing money, you're managing your capacity to earn money. And sometimes protecting that capacity is worth more than the immediate payment. Not always, but sometimes. Iris ran the numbers, not on paper, but in her head, and made the call that most people, in the heat of that moment, wouldn't have been able to make. That's financial intelligence, not a spreadsheet, a clear head in a crisis. But here's where Iris's story takes a turn that I didn't expect when I first heard it. Because what she did next, at 5 a.m, before most people had even had their coffee, is the part that changed everything. Right after this, 5 a.m, her alarm goes off. She gets up, gets dressed, and gets in her car. Not to go to an office, to drive for Uber. From 5 or 6 in the morning until the afternoon, she drives. The app tells her where to go, she follows it. Mile by mile, ride by ride, the money adds up in real time on her phone screen. No waiting for a paycheck, no approval from a manager. Just her car, and a platform that was there when the office wasn't. But she didn't just drive and hope. She studied the app. She learned which hours paid the most, early morning surges before the city fully woke up. She learned which zones generated the most consistent rides. She treated Uber not like a side gig, but like a business, because that's exactly what it was. Her business, her terms, her schedule. In the afternoon, she comes home. Her parents, who live 6 blocks away, close enough to matter, have been with her son. She takes over. She cooks, she helps with homework, she shows up for him the way she always has. And at night, when her son is asleep and the house is quiet, she opens her laptop. The remote job she found didn't exist at scale before the pandemic forced companies to figure out how to work differently. She applied through a platform, got hired through a platform, and delivered her work every night from her kitchen table through a platform. No commute, no office politics, just results. She used a simple notes app on her phone to track what each stream was generating every week. Not a complex system. 3 lines. Uber income, remote work income, fixed expenses. The difference between those numbers was her margin. And she watched that margin every single week, without exception. 3 income streams, 3 apps, 1 person. The tools were modern. The discipline behind them was ancient. She made it work not because the technology was magical, but because she used it with intention. The same intention her generation brought to a notebook and a pencil. Just faster, just more flexible. She kept her son in private school, not out of pride, out of conviction. She had 2 degrees. She had seen firsthand what education could open. And she decided that no matter what it cost her in sleep, in comfort, in ease, her son would have the best education she could give him. He responded by earning a scholarship that covers 45% of his tuition. She responded by telling him, "Don't lose it, because if you do, I'm not sure I can cover the rest." Not a threat, a truth, the kind that only a single parent can tell. When the margin is real, and the stakes are real, and the love behind the words is completely real. They became a team, mother and son, each holding up their end. What Iris built, without calling it this, is what financial planners call income diversification. The single greatest financial risk for any household is dependence on one income source. When that source disappears, through layoff, illness, economic crisis, a new government, everything disappears with it. Iris learned this the hard way, twice. So she built 3 streams,
Not because she had a strategy document, because she understood from experience that one point of failure is one too many. For single parents, this is not optional advice. It's survival architecture. You don't need 3 jobs forever, but you need more than one door, a skill you can freelance, a platform you can drive for, a service you can offer on weekends. Because the question isn't whether something will go wrong, the question is whether you'll have options when it does. Iris had options because she built them at 5 in the morning, in the dark, before the city woke up.
Her son is in university now, studying industrial engineering. He has his scholarship. She has her 3 income streams. Her parents are 6 blocks away. Her father's knee healed. It is not a perfect life. She still works before dawn. She still manages a budget that leaves very little room for error. The pension her ex-husband pays is still, as she describes it, almost symbolic. But here is what the 2 layoffs, the divorce, the pandemic, and the medical crisis could not take from her. Her clarity. She knows exactly what she has. She knows exactly what she owes. She knows exactly what it costs to keep her son in school, her parents supported, and her household running. And she knows, because she has proven it twice, that when everything falls apart, she can put it back together. That knowledge is not in either of her degrees. No university teaches it. It was built in the dark, in a car, at 5 in the morning, mile by mile, decision by decision, bill by bill. Iris is not waiting to be rescued. She is not waiting for the pension to increase, or for a better government, or for her ex-husband to step up. She is working, right now, today. And her son, watching all of it, is becoming the kind of man that a mother like that deserves. That's the real return on her investment. Not the salary, not the scholarship. The person he is becoming because of the person she chose to be. If you're a single parent right now, working 2 jobs, 3 jobs, whatever it takes, and you feel like nobody sees it, this channel sees it. Iris sees it. My mother sees it. Sarah sees it. Subscribe if you want to be part of a community that understands what this actually costs and what it actually builds. Leave a comment below. What's the one thing keeping you going right now? I want to know. And next video, we go back to the fundamentals. Because stories like Iris's, like Sarah's, like my mother's, they all share one thing. One habit, one number, one decision they make every single month that most people skip. Next video, I'll show you exactly what it is. See you then.